Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for today's video. So in today's video I'm going to be decorating with Aurora's house. Obviously we got Aurora in part 2 of the storybook Veil, and as you can see obviously her house is absolutely gorgeous. I love the design of it and I wanted to give it a spot in my valley. I don't know if it will stay here forever. I'm thinking I'll probably change things up a bit, but I wanted to create a really whimsical romantic design for her house. I felt like it just fit up here in the forest with the kind of like greenery style to the house anyway, and I wanted to, as I said, give it this romantic garden, so I use a lot more of the kind of upscale pieces, including some pieces that I've got so far from Scrooge's store. So let's get started. So as you can see, I've popped her in this corner right by where Elsa's cave is, and I started putting out some furniture that I thought I might use. There's a lot of this I actually don't end up using because it was just too much, but I did want to include this topiary. This is from Scrooge's store, and it's actually a Beauty and the Beast item, but I decided it just fits so well with kind of Aurora's theme and the romantic garden style I was going for. So I placed that in the middle as the centerpiece so I could get it in its kind of like location, so I knew exactly where it's going because it is huge. And then I started adding some of the new statues from Scrooge's store around the topiary, as well as some of the craftable flower beds as well, to kind of just create this nice little design with some of these items to start off the build. Now around Aurora's house I wanted to use some of the craftable rose brick fences because I just felt like these would fit so well with the theme of her house. And then I went in with some of the pathway that we got from the Oasis Retreat style path to kind of create a path leading up to her house and also to the exit of the forest. I love these pebble pathways, I use them way too much, and I'm hoping in the future we get some more similar to this in like different styles and colours, because I feel like sometimes I could do with these being slightly different, but a good alternative would obviously just be the pebbled path you can get from the furniture menu. I did debate using those, but I felt like these ones were just a little bit brighter, so I decided to add those all around so that you could access all the way to her house. And then I started adding in some of the lampposts so I could know where the lighting was going to go, because a lot of the outer edges of this build is going to be a forest, so I knew that there would be like little points throughout. So for example, I'm doing one now which is a little seating area with a fountain in the middle, and I knew there would be other little points as well, which you'll see as we go forward, but for the most part the outer edges were going to be really overgrown and foresty, so getting the pathway and the lighting kind of mapped in meant that I knew exactly where those points were going to go to make sure it wasn't too dark and too cluttered. Now, as I was saying, as you can see at this point, I'm going in with some of the trees in the background. Now, it did take me some time to figure out what trees I wanted to use, only because normally in my forest I go for the more kind of darker trees. Like a lot of the Eternity R ones are the ones I tend to go for. I don't know why, I think just because of the dark grass. But actually for Aurora's house, because it has this lighter colour to it and obviously the lighter tree on top, I didn't want to make it too dark, so I tried to do a blend of different kinds of greens, obviously include some fir trees to go with the forest feel, but also include a lot of the lighter like maple trees and birch trees to fit with the bright topiary in the middle, as well as obviously the lighter colour scheme of her house. So that was something I did find a little bit difficult to kind of map out, but realistically you could use whatever trees you want, and also depending on what biome you put her house in will probably affect the trees you use. Like if you pop her in like Ever After or the Bind or something like that over in the Vale, I'm sure your tree selection would be a lot different, but for this one I wanted to try and keep it as bright as possible, but also incorporate a lot of the foresty elements with like the rocks with the logs on, and also the fir trees to keep it feeling very fitting with the forest environment. Now for foliage in here, I did want to keep it very similar to obviously the trees, where I kept everything very green, and used a variety of different bushes in like the lighter green colours and also the darker green colours. So I mainly used ones from the base game, to be honest with you. There obviously was the odd ones from DLCs, like the little mushroom ones that we got from the Vale, just because I love these in a forest environment, because I just feel like they don't stand out too much. But for the most part I kept it very green, and then after that I went in and created a little pond space. I just felt like this gap on this side here just needed some sort of pond space. I felt like it just made sense to go with this foresty environment, and honestly any opportunity to use this river kit and I'm gonna take it. So I decided to use it again for this build. I don't do anything major with it, I just do a little pond area off in the trees, and then obviously I go forward later and add in some of the decorations on top to make it feel a bit more romantic and whimsical. As I said before, I really do hope we get other iterations of this river kit in the premium shop at some point, like ones with different styles to them, just because this one is quite like jungly looking, so it's not too bad to try and like blend into a forest, but in other biomes it can be a little bit difficult. So hopefully in the future we get some other versions of this that fit different biomes and things like that. Like I'd love a spooky looking one, just to kind of keep it a little bit different, but for now I felt like it did work in the forest, so I felt like I could kind of make it work in here. So here is the final build. As you can see, we're starting from the bridge over into this section, and we have got the topiary in the middle to kind of be our main focus with the little statues on either side. And then as we head around the left hand side, obviously we have this massively overgrown kind of forest environment. We have the little seating area, which as you can see Aurora is currently sat behind, with the spinning wheel, and also the little fountain in the middle, just a simple little seating spot. And then we obviously continue the path through to her home. I wanted some really simple little lampposts in here just to kind of not overwhelm it, because this house is so rustic. I didn't want to make it look too modern, so I added some of the brick walls around the edge, and then obviously some little carts and things like that to keep it feeling quite traditional along with her character. We then obviously head round to our little pond, which I added some of the little flowers from the premium shop into, just because I felt like they fit with Aurora's kind of vibe and the colours that went with her. And then obviously the final little foresty bits around to the exit. So here are some shots of the final build. I hope you guys did enjoy. It actually ended up better than I thought. Like how I pictured it in my head, it kind of went a lot smoother. I thought it was going to be a little bit tricky to kind of achieve what I wanted to achieve, and there were some plans that I had for it that were a little bit more complicated, but I actually decided I felt like Aurora's character didn't need anything super complicated. I felt like she's quite a natural whimsical character, and obviously her house is very rustic, so I felt like a big grand kind of royal looking garden for her just didn't make sense. So I'm glad I went more with like a rustic theme, but added the little royalty hints here and there with some of the items in the end. Let me know down below if you have found a spot for Aurora in your valley, if you do have her, and if so, what kind of vibe you went for her home and whereabouts you're going to put it. I did debate for a while where to put her house, and like I said, I don't know if it'll end up here forever, but I definitely will probably try and recreate this build wherever I do end up putting her. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe if you are enjoying things from me, and subscribing helps me out so much to grow my channel. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.